Welcome to the HAYVN Hubcast, a place to learn what business leaders, owners, and professionals are doing to navigate and grow in today's market. Hear from industry experts on everything from marketing, leadership, financing, and more. Brought to you by HAYVN, a co-working space where you can connect, create, and get stuff done.
Hello, and welcome to the HAYVN Hubcast. I am your co-host, Nancy Sheed, and I am excited. I'm going to admit I was a little nervous, but also excited to be talking over these next few episodes about all things IT, keeping you safe, keeping you smart, and keeping you productive. And we're going to be talking with Linda Kuppersmith. She is the President and Chief Technology Advisor of CMIT Solutions. And you're going to hear how really smart, really insightful, and actually really hopeful she is about the role technology can play in our lives and our businesses. Linda is also on the HAYVN Board of Advisors. I've known her for several years, and she has been a go-to person for many of us in the HAYVN community in terms of all things IT. So listen in, let's learn from Linda, and enjoy these next few episodes. So, Linda, we are so excited to be talking to you all things sort of technology and getting our technology houses in order. Today's topic is, I'm sure, a favorite of yours and of many, and that is password management. My dog's name is probably not the right answer for all of my passwords, right?
That's right, Nancy. Thank you so much for having me on here. This is a topic that I'm somewhat kind of religious about because it really makes a difference in people's lives.
And let's just a little bit of a backstory before we go in the do's and don'ts of password management. More, why should we care, especially as small business owners or even just literally, individuals? Why should we care about sort of secure password management? So
you've heard about identity theft, right? Somebody
Exactly.
gets a hold of your social security number, a driver's license number. I heard a story from a banker today that, ended up with somebody losing thousands of dollars. The bank's going to reimburse them. But passwords and password theft is also identity theft. Because once somebody gets a hold of your password, they now are going to start unlocking all of the different important information and access that you have. It sadly is the root cause of about 85% of the data breaches that happen. So yeah, it's and I'm like, okay, if we look at the estimated amount of money that cybercriminals are making, which is $4 trillion on a global basis. If we could stop 85% of that and redirect that money into much better things to do, imagine what the world would be like.
Okay, that is, I was getting creeped out, but I think a lot of us sit here and say, oh, that won't happen to me, right? And so I think putting that global perspective on, and I'm sure everybody we know has been, at least, if we haven't been hacked ourselves, we know somebody who has. And even if it's
Correct.
just small infringement on a social media platform,
Exactly.
it can go.
Somebody gets a hold of your Facebook. Early on, my daughter had somebody got a hold of her Facebook account and put up their picture and their bio.
I know, and it gets hard to undo. And sort of the bigger you are and the more well-known you are, the trickier it gets. It seems like the easier it gets to do, as well as the harder it gets to undo, if that made sense.
Yeah.
So, Linda, as we're kind of sort of thinking about not quite New Year's resolutions, but one of the things, that would be, it sounds like a pain because we all hate changing our passwords. But can you walk us through some sort of key things we can do for better password management or stronger password management or secure password management? What are the sort of, counting on your hand, the things that you advise people to do?
Right. I really try, because so much of technology is not tangible. So I really try as I'm working with people to be able to make it tangible. So think about a password like you would a key, because That's what it is.
Right.
And what we have right now is we are walking around, most of us, with a key ring that can have 100, 200, even 300 different keys on it.
Right.
So how do you manage that? Okay, so most of us, when we were using a lot of keys, would say, okay, here's the ones I always need for my car, for my house. Here's the one I don't so often need, the safe deposit box at the bank, but it's really important. And so the first part of it is really being able to put all of your passwords into one place and get them organized and categorize them into the ones that are work versus personal, the ones that are protecting important information versus the ones that may be shopping oriented or maybe newsletter oriented. So start to be able to categorize them and get them into one place. So like many things, the first thing we start with is an inventory.
Good point. Okay. And what does that look like to you, to be really literal and tangible? Is that a piece of paper? Is that on an encrypted super secret thing in the interwebs, which sounds like it's giving the keys away? What does that look like when you're helping people figure out their inventory?
This is one of the hardest things about this is that when I ask most people, where do you keep your passwords? I get a couple typical answers. Oh, I don't write them down. It's in my head. And so we'll talk about that technique
Oh, wow.
and what that means. And then the other one is, oh, I've got it, in a spreadsheet or a Word document, or it's on a sticky note that's on my desktop. And then sometimes I'll get people that may be a little bit more savvy and say, no, it's a password protected Excel sheet. And then the other one is, well, I don't have to remember them because my browser keeps them for me.
Sorry.
And
Okay.
guess what? The only place these days that it's going to be safe from the evils that will end up in your computer, we can't stop it anymore. There's going to get something on your computer and it's going to start recording your keystrokes and reading your hard drive. So it's literally a piece of paper
Okay.
where other people can't see it. And then you got to worry about where's the copy of that so it doesn't get destroyed. Or you need to start moving to a password vault.
Okay.
And
Okay.
there's a lot of really good password vaults out there. So people that say to me, and I love the one that says, I don't have to remember them. So how do you not remember them? Well, I have one and then I give it certainly, little derivations. Well, let's talk about what's happening on the dark side of the web. The dark side of the web is no longer a person that is trying to hack your computer. It's a bunch of scripts. We
And
call them
bots.
script
Yep.
kiddies and bots. And they're going to, just because of one breach, they now get a hold of your password. It's come from LinkedIn, it's come from your bank. They now have a password. The dark web is now so sophisticated that they know every single persona that you have on the web, because most of us tie all of our identities together with a common email or a common email or two or three. And database stuff is really good at being able to correlate all this breach information. And guaranteed, they know your Gmail account, they know your work address, that together with other things like social security number. All they have to be able to do is push it into these scripts and bots. They get a hold of that one password, and they're now going to take that key and start to be able to run across all your different accounts.
Okay. So the lesson right there, if I'm just sort of trying to put pins in, that is, don't use derivations of passwords.
Right. And don't reuse them from place to place. One door, one key.
I'm getting better about that. Did you hear that, hackers? No, I don't do that. I don't do that. Not me. That's not me. Okay. So not reusing, not doing patterns, keeping things in a pattern or a vault. If we are creating passwords, advice on creating the best passwords?
Yeah, because now there's passwords like that sometimes, even if you put them into a vault, you can't copy and paste them because the banks especially have become very sophisticated about this. or wherever you're using it, it's just not convenient to do a copy and paste.
Okay.
So a great technique here is pick 4 words.
So secret. I feel like we're making codes right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
I feel like we have our own version of Wordle going on right now.
4 words, and in between each word, put a number or a symbol.
Okay.
And random. It can be dog, alphabet, warm, orange, and stick a star, a pound, and a dollar sign in between it.
Okay.
And if it's something that you constantly have to be able to enter, the likely is you're going to be able to consistently put it in.
Right. Okay. All right. I love that. I thought you were going to say password generator. That was one of my other questions. How do you feel about password generators?
They are absolutely great for cases when you can copy and paste.
Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. So we've got a couple solutions.
Yep. So most of the password vaults that are out there allow you to create, a secure one that's complete gobbledygook.
Right.
And gobbledygook is great until you actually have to be able to type it out. So like another great one is the Wi-Fi password, right? The one that comes, from Cablevision could be gobbledygook. Well, that's a pain in the neck to run your household with. Yes. Turn it into at least 2 words with a number and a symbol, and you're going to make everybody that comes to your home that much happier.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, and let's go back for a quick second, because we talk about a vault, and for those people who aren't maybe familiar with a password vault, can you explain what that is, or what that looks like if the idea of a piece of paper is totally freaking them out, or making their own passwords? Right. What does a password vault look like?
So there are a number of password vaults out there. One of them is called LastPass, Keeper, Dashlane. If you just, you type in password vault, you're going to get some really good ones. What they do is it is a program on the cloud, or it can be local, just on your desktop. And it uses your master password, your master key, as a seed to the encryption routines that then encrypt all of your data. So you want to be able to use a master password that's long and strong, but here's one where you definitely want to use words, because you're going to be typing this one in, because it's, in order to get into your vault, you have to type something in. And so even if the hackers get into that cloud server in LastPass, most of them have had some kind of a breach. All they get is encrypted data.
Okay.
And if you've got a long and strong password on that vault, they're not getting in, because you create something that's at least 12 to 15 characters. And there's a great one out there that you can test to see how long it would take a supercomputer to crack that password. And once you're in a couple thousand years, you really don't have to worry.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to make a plug also. I do use a vault, so I'm not telling the black web which one, but I do use a vault. And I think the other thing I like as a small business owner is the ability, and you might tell me I'm not supposed to do this, share passwords through the vault without sharing the password. That to me is one of the beautiful things of the vault is I can share it if they're using the same vault I am, and they never get to see my password. If it changes, sometimes it doesn't always work perfectly, but regardless. So I think I want to make that mini plug from the small business owner standpoint is
correct.
It's another way to kind of stay secure in the password sphere.
It absolutely is, because yes, you've got, small business owners have a bookkeeper that would like to be able to have access to your bank account. You're working with internet marketing professionals, and they want access to your Facebook, your social media. Increasingly, there are ways to be able to kind of, do that without sharing the password. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's plenty of password sharing that still needs to be able to happen.
Okay, this is a fantastic kind of overview of things that I have a sense we kind of know, but some people need to be re-reminded. And then we get all excited because we get these passwords that we just have forever and we love them. And that doesn't sound like it's probably a great strategy either. So what's your recommendation in terms of updating or changing your password, besides for the reason you forgot your password?
Right. So I recommend that and here's where it's good to be able to put them into categories. The ones that are very important, your credit card company, your bank, you need to change those either 30 or 90 days,
Okay.
depending on kind of how paranoid you are with all of this. You also, the other big thing with any of your sensitive information, and I would say now any of your internet accounts, is you want to turn on that second factor of authentication. So it's called 2FA, MFA. This is where, because somebody may be able to crack that password, or you get something on your computer called a keylogger, which is recording your keystrokes as you're typing in your password. So having that code that's sent to your phone, or even better, to be able to have a little app that pushes up and says, "Hi, do you approve this?" and hitting approve is the way to be able to go.
Okay.
So the important ones absolutely need to be, behind an MFA, change them every 30 to 90 days. All the rest of them, I would say change them once a year. So it
Okay.
is a part of sitting there. If you're not doing anything on New Year's Day, that's a quiet day for everybody. It's a great day to be able to sit there, or that day when it's really, really, really cold outside, like it is today.
All right.
Sit there and start working
Good
through
winter
them.
project, or make it, and for
That's right.
even I'm going to go and say quarterly for the I operate on a 90-day planner, right? Like I'm just
Yeah,
thinking that would be a great kind of quarterly exercise as well. So
right.
Linda, this has been so helpful. And can I ask, in terms of either somebody who's kind of all over the place or doesn't feel technologically savvy, or let's say maybe has actually unfortunately experienced a breach, where does the road kind of end of what you can do yourself, and or how can an IT advisor like yourself either handle it or make somebody's life easier? What does that look like?
Right. So a lot of it has to do with size. So let's take password management and choosing the right vault for you. So if you're a single person, you can go out there, adopt one of these password vaults, and that with some YouTube videos, you can get it implemented. If you grow to 2 people and 3 people, we're now talking about needing to secure and manage passwords at a team level. This is then where I recommend that you at least check in with somebody that is in the space, an IT advisor. Taking a product like LastPass, there's a family version, a free version, a Teams version, and an enterprise version. And you want to be able to pick the right one, because honestly, it's a pain in the neck when we work with clients that have chosen the wrong one, and then we have to undo everything and put them into the right package. So we want to put them into a place. And then, there's not too much in terms of Windows versus Apple versus Android stuff, but we do want to be able to be sensitive to our platforms. So, and when you don't want to be the password administrator anymore, if you got a team of 4, and you don't want to be the person that needs to be really, really knowledgeable about all the different setting buttons that are in your password vault guy, call in somebody that is very familiar with that and have them set it up for you. And then you can take it over afterwards.
Right. And deal with it. And they already know the systems and processes that'll work best for that size business.
And the standard policies, so a team or an enterprise level vault will have policies that says if you're creating a password within the vault, it has to be at least 8 characters long. So if somebody tries to be able to do 4 characters, the vault is going to say, nah, can't do it.
Not
Or
working.
you can actually run a report on your employees periodically and find out who hasn't changed their password in the last 100 years.
Perfect. On that note, Linda, thank you. As always, enlightening. And I love that you sort of say, you make us aware of what's going on out there, but give us kind of the hope and guidance to what we can do to kind of empower ourselves and have a more sort of safe and secure technology IT environment. We will be back with other episodes about that. So please check out the other ones where Linda is guiding us in all things IT. Thanks so much, Linda. We'll be back with more.
Thank you. And remember, it's about I'm looking to be able to save the world one password at a time.
Oh, perfect. Linda, as always, I feel smarter, more secure, and more productive on all things IT. How can others who want to connect with you, work with you, learn more, connect with you?
Easy, easy, easy. So go to our website, cmitstanford.com, STAM like Mary, FORD. Look for Linda's Tech Tips on the top right-hand corner. You'll find a whole bunch of information there and can also sign up for our Tuesday Quick Tips, which will keep you very quickly up to date on all things in small business technology. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then we also run a YouTube channel, which has some original content, but some great playlists of getting you up to speed on different technologies and just different YouTube videos we found that are just very, very informative for small business owners looking to be able to become more educated. You can also...
Fantastic.
I'm going to give you one more. It's linda@cmitstanford.com, and our phone number is 203-595-9091.
Fantastic. And we'll put all that in the show notes. Thank you for being here for this HAYVN Hubcast. And listeners, please check out the other podcast where Linda is sharing her expertise.
Thanks for listening to the HAYVN Hubcast, a place to learn what business leaders and owners are doing to navigate and grow in today's market. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. HAYVN is a co-working space and virtual community located in the heart of Fairfield County, Connecticut. HAYVN is a hub for business owners and professionals to connect, create, and get stuff done. Find out more about the HAYVN community online at hayvn.com. That's HAYVN.com. HAYVN Hubcast is produced by Sound Advice Strategies.